It's a slobber knocker of a Buds battle, with me taking on producer of the Off the Ropes comedy wrestling show, Trent Bruce, in 20 questions on WrestleMania history. This is Trivia with Buds. Welcome to the WrestleMania edition of the Trivia with Buds podcast. That's right, it is WrestleMania week, and I am excited. If you are a wrestling fan, this is the time of year that you look forward to. It's like Christmas for people who like seeing other people get hit with chairs, and it is glorious. Thank you for checking out this show. We put it out every Tuesday. It's tons of fun for me to do. I'm your host, Ryan Buds, and I host trivia all around Los Angeles. If you don't know me, if you're checking this out for the very first time, maybe you did a little search. Maybe you searched WrestleMania on iTunes or the podcast app or Stitcher or Google Play, and you came across this exact episode, and you're like, what the hell is this? Well, I'll tell you what it is. It is a trivia show where sometimes it's two friends of mine going one-on-one in topics that they are good at. Topics like Saved by the Bell and 80s action movies, which we did last week, if you like either of those things. Or topics like two Patrick Swayze movies that I did with my wife, Dirty Dancing and Roadhouse trivia. All kinds of fun stuff and fun combos and stuff you would never see paired together, like Tenacious D and marine biology. And we basically do 10 or 20 questions back and forth on those topics every episode. And this week we have a big one-on-one cage match with me and a good comedy buddy of mine in LA named Trent Bruce. Now, Trent is going to tell you all about himself and how he got involved in running marketing and social media for different breweries in Los Angeles. And we're going to let him get to that. But before we get to that, I wanted to insert this very awesome WrestleMania question from my good friend Kevin Kellum. I have a trivia hotline where you can call and leave a voicemail if you ever have a trivia question and you want to try and stump me. And I will play it in the episode intros or outros. This week's comes from Chicago's own Kevin Kellum. Here is his WrestleMania trivia question.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, Ryan, what's up? It's your buddy from the greater Midwestern area of Chicago. I'm also a comedian and radio person. You can follow me on the Twitter at Kev Kellum. It's KEVKELLAM. Wrestling, WrestleMania. This is a very special time. As I get older and I start to care less about holidays and my own birthday, WrestleMania becomes a holiday to me. Me and all the other nerds get together and we yell about what men are doing when they pretend to fight. It's a good time. So, WrestleMania trivia. I've been to 2 WrestleManias. I'm going to give you a trivia question about one of them. WrestleMania 22 in Chicago at the Allstate Arena, the last one to take place in an arena. That's not your trivia question, but my trivia question is, what was the theme song for WrestleMania 22? What was the theme song for WrestleMania 22? Good luck.
All right, Kevin, that is a tough question. I have no idea what the song is. I have no idea what that song could be. They usually use like a Limp Bizkit song back in the WrestleMania 20-ish era days, like a Limp Bizkit or like a System of a Down song maybe, something kind of metally, maybe a Korn song. I'm not sure. But Kevin did record the answer, so let's see what it was.
The answer, Big Time. That's right, Big Time. I'm on my way, I'm making it. By Peter Gabriel. Why Peter Gabriel? Usually, a lot of like weird new metal-y stuff like Saliva or Kid Rock is a song that WWE would use, but Peter Gabriel with Big Time got in there. You guys can check me out on the wrestling podcast WrestleZone Radio for WrestleZone.com. I'm a contributor there as well. And my podcast for 101 WKQX Radio in Chicago is Not Ready for Broadcast. Check out those, WrestleZone Radio and Not Ready for Broadcast. Subscribe on iTunes, share them, click them, like them, all that good stuff. And enjoy wrestling. It's fun, and don't let anyone tell you it's fake.
There it is. Big Time by Peter Gabriel, I think. Or Phil Collins? No, I think it's Peter Gabriel. Big Time. And that was the song for WrestleMania. They really were trying to reach the parents with that one, I guess. Great question, Kevin Kellum. Follow Kevin anywhere you can find him. Kevin and I ran the very first podcast I ever did together called Joking Off. The very first podcast I did, we ran it together, rather. It was called Joking Off, and it was just us BSing with other Chicago comics back in the 2010-11 years. So thanks, Kevin. That was awesome. I actually went to a WrestleMania with Kevin, WrestleMania 28, down in Orlando, Florida, I believe. It was near Hollywood, Florida. I guess it was Orlando. It was the Sun Life Stadium at the time. Now it's like the Hard Rock Stadium, I think. And it was awesome. It was Rock versus Cena 1, and it was a good time. So without any further ado, before I nerd out just talking about all my WrestleMania moments, we're going to get into some WrestleMania trivia with the social director over at Three Weavers Brewing, Mr. Trent Bruce. We got 20 questions. Let's see how many you know on WrestleMania. Here we go. Sitting here in beautiful Culver City, California, with my good friend Trent Bruce. How you doing, Trent?
I'm doing great, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Trent Bruce is your real name?
Trent Bruce is my God-given Christian name my mother picked out for me. And I'll give you, I'll throw you another one. Trent David Bruce is my full name.
Yeah.
3 first names, all 5 letters each.
You know, David and Bruce are a couple of banners. One's a rapper, one is a superhero. David
They're
Banner
both
and Bruce
banners,
Banner,
or a strain of weed.
That's right. I've been on a strand of weed called what is it called? Master P, which is named after another rapper.
Oh wow!
It's at a place out by me. It's called Master P. Puts you right to sleep. It's the best.
You go.
And then there's also Girl Scout cookie.
Yep, I've had Girl Scout cookie.
Is there a thin mint aftertone to that, you think?
Yeah, a little thin mint.
A little bit of thin mint to it. You have a beard, which is why you smoke the pot we just talked about. Very good. I have a beard. Mine's like a beard in trading compared to yours. And I don't know if I told you this, but the loser of this podcast has to shave their beard. This is a beard shave off.
Holy shit.
This is like McMahon, Trump, WrestleMania 20.
2. This is McMahon Trump 2.
Yeah, basically. Who do you want to be? You want to be McMahon or Trump? They're both pretty awful.
God.
They're both pretty awful.
Yeah, I'll sit out.
I have a book that my good friend Casey O'Connor, shout out to collector of pop vinyls and good friend Casey O'Connor, who got me a 50 years of wrestling book, WWE history book.
Oh, cool.
And there's a whole section, a little quote from McMahon, who says he thought that the angle was going to be great for shaving the head. He always knew it was going to be him, but he didn't realize how grotesque his head is because he's never had it completely shaved. And he's like, I was so disappointed in like the shape of my head and all the bumps he had taken from fights and matches and stuff over the year. So he had all these like lumps on his bald, completely shaved head. And for the next month or two, he like hated it. So that was
that's gross. Yeah.
And it's fun that we're already talking about Vince McMahon and a beard shaving match because the theme on today's podcast, because it is WrestleMania week, and it's a very exciting week if you like anything related to wrestling, we're doing some WrestleMania trivia, one-on-one. We have 10 questions that we wrote for each other, and what was funny is you have yours all written out like a suicide note on a desk when I walked in.
Bud said it was a suicide note just because I hand wrote it.
Sure, who does that anymore?
Come on. My God!
Get on Evernote.
Sorry, I don't have a tablet out with me right now.
And then you said, "Hey, do you want to check over my questions?" And I'm like, "No, man, you gotta quiz me on those." And you're like, "What are we doing?" It was great. So it was fun. I don't explain things very well.
No. It's a nice. Sure. That makes a lot more sense.
So we will go back and forth on 10 WrestleMania questions and see who is the king of WrestleMania trivia. But before we do that, we're going to get to know a lot about you and how we know each other and fun stuff like that. So, Trent, you right now are working over at Three Weavers Brewery in Inglewood.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a newer brewery, right?
They, I just started over there in December.
Yeah.
They had their 2-year anniversary last fall.
Very good. Open a couple of years. Now, what do you like so far about working there? What makes it different than other breweries?
Yeah. So the cool thing about Three Weavers and what we're doing over there is it's first and foremost, we make good beer. That's our main focus.
Of course.
And our second, tied for first, is our community focus.
Okay.
So like everything we do is intentional with our neighborhood in mind, our fans in mind.
Very small business oriented and
yeah,
stuff.
it's
corporate.
very mom and pop.
Yeah.
I got hired right before the holiday party last December.
Uh-huh.
And the little Christmas gathering or holiday gathering we had was so nice. Just got to talk with everyone, and you felt like you were like already. I felt like I was a part of a family.
That's the best.
Right away.
Sure.
But yeah, and then recently,
I have that with my own family sometimes. Every once in a while.
I feel
like I'm part of this family. It's pretty good.
That's we can talk about that
off mic
later. Let me give you a hug, Ryan.
That's awesome, though. So three Weavers. You have a lot of experience in breweries. You worked over at Angel City Brewery. That's where I met you. You were running a comedy show there.
Yeah,
and
for a while.
If you've ever been to downtown LA, Angel City is a must check out spot. And you ran a comedy show. What was your comedy show before Off the Ropes? Was it just
the very first one?
Yeah,
it was a weekly show. It was called Pints and Puns.
Pints and Puns. That's right.
And
you had a rap.
Yeah, Pints and
Give
Puns.
me like maybe the first two lines of the Pints and Puns.
Oh
rap.
man, okay.
Do you remember it?
Pints and puns, pints and puns. Tonight's gonna be a whole lot of fun. Pints and puns, pints and puns. I'm gonna go have to slap a nun.
Oh yeah, of course.
Something like that.
As you would.
It's been a little while, a little rusty on the.
It went on for a while though. There were a lot of verses.
It's a good like 2 minutes.
Bars.
Yeah, 16 bars.
There you go.
But so I started that a while back, and the name actually came out of a joke because I presented to them. I was like, "Hey, I could run a comedy show for you guys," and then later on, I got hired. But I presented it as a joke. I was like, "Oh, we could do something corny."
Yeah,
but it was an email, so I said we could do something corny like pints and puns.
Yeah,
ha ha ha.
And they're like,
they sent it to corporate, and the next email I got was all these flyers.
Oh my god!
I was like, well, I guess that's the title.
That's hilarious,
and it kind of caught on. It was fun,
and that's kind of interesting for people that are listening. You were a comedian who went to a brewery and said, "Let me run a show here."
Yeah.
And then they were like, hey, you could do that. And then that went well. And then you became an employee of the brewery, right?
Yeah.
In that order.
So, yeah, I have experience in, like, the event world.
Yeah.
So I started doing, for Angel City, I started doing all their, like, outside events.
And you're a young guy. You're 25?
Oh, no. I just turned 27 in January.
Okay, 27 is still young.
Yeah.
I'm 31. I feel way older than you.
Well, yeah, you crossed the 30 threshold.
I'm wearing a deep V.
Deep V. You got the dad hair.
Sure.
So that's what I don't have yet is, like, I got a little bit.
Well, my whole chest hair patch is this. That's it.
That's it.
There's nothing. It's just like.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's
it.
Yeah,
you're right.
Nothing. We just took our shirts off. We're chest to chest right now.
We are chest to.
But yeah, it's there was some kindling we just rubbed together. So that's kind of interesting for people that are like, sometimes people ask me like, how did you get going or how'd you get stuff started? And you have to kind of make shit happen, right? So your goal, I don't know, your goal probably was not to work at that brewery, was it? Like you were like, I'll run a comedy show there.
Yeah.
But then that led to a career where you're there every day, and then you kicked ass, and then now you're taking all the expertise you took from there for a year or two, and then you're moving to another place. So that's a cool little journey there, and people should admire that because it's not easy to do. And sometimes you go in with one idea, like a comedy show, and it could turn into something totally different.
It's been pretty wild. It's definitely beer. Like working in the beer industry has been super, super fun and a great supplement. And working on the event side of beer, like let's say if I was doing sales,
sure,
or I was on the road all the time, or if I was doing actual like brewing, like production, you have to be like on basically the calendar of what your production house is like. So. It's cool doing events in a brewery scene because now I'm, running the events. Yeah. But also get to be a part of the beer world. I'm a big beer nerd as well. So
you look like one of those guys. Like
I look like a brewer. That's what I get a lot.
You know what you don't see as you don't see as much anymore. You don't really see like you do. But there was I feel like when I first moved here in 2012, a lot of hipsters. Like you see a lot of people that are like, oh, that guy's a hipster. Yeah. But now there's like a new genre of person, of guy or gal that's like I don't know, it's like elevated. So you're not like I wouldn't say you're like a hipster. I wouldn't look at that guy and go, that's a hipster. I would go, that guy probably likes craft beer. Do you know what I mean? Like you look like a brewer. You look like a brewer.
I think what it is now is that the hipster thing is kind of it's now a part of like our culture.
Sure. Yeah.
So like white guy, short
hair,
Madman, like
beard.
haircut on top, and then giant beard. I mean, it's what it is. It's like I haven't put any gunk in it yet or anything, but it's like the high and tight, like the classic men's cut with the big old beard.
There you go.
Couple tattoos. Yeah, I'm like the quintessential. Yeah, I appreciate your take on it.
Sure.
Elevated.
I'm in your house. I don't want to, You come over to podcast in my house, you're a fucking hipster, bro. And I don't allow hipsters, so we couldn't even do the podcast. No. You've been to my house several times for my a SummerSlam party.
Yeah.
Did you come 2 years in a row or one year so far?
I think No, I've been twice.
Yeah.
Was it 2 in a row or did I skip
There was
one?
a fantastic slow motion elbow drop. You on a raft, and I jumped really high. It literally looks like I jumped very high.
Yeah.
And nailed you with a cool elbow drop, and you kind of, in slow motion looks great. So I'll
spill my
post
beer
that.
everywhere.
Maybe I'll post a link in the show notes.
There you go.
And people can watch that. But yeah, we've been wrestling buddies since we met, and I think we met just doing, someone...
Did I have you on my show? Is that
Yeah,
how we
you had
met?
me on Pints and Puns. I might have reached out to you, or somebody I knew was on it, and I went with them to check it out, and then you let me do a couple minutes or something.
Oh, cool.
So it was one of those two things. Then we kind of hit it off, and we talked wrestling for a long time.
Yeah.
And then you were hosting Bingo there.
Yep.
And you were like, hey, I'm looking for a co-host for Bingo where we just kind of BS on mic while we call the bingo numbers. And I was like, oh, I've never done that. Let's do it. And I had been hosting trivia for a long time. So I was like, oh, this is probably the same. And had a lot of fun doing that. It was almost like doing a podcast like this.
Yeah,
Where we
it's
just
very
kind of
casual.
BS. And it's almost like, I wonder if people are listening, but it was a fun way to call the bingo numbers. And some people really got into it. So that was cool. So we did that. I probably hosted bingo with you 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And that was over at Angel City. You started a show there after Pints and Puns called Off the Ropes, the Off the Ropes comedy show.
Yeah.
And I think I was on the first one ever of that.
You were. Yeah.
I think I was a last minute fill-in.
Yeah.
So I think I was coming to hang out, and then you're like, hey, so-and-so didn't show up. And it was like a 3-on-3 battle of comedians, and you do a kind of like a bunch of different little stand-up games where it's like, okay, this is the roast round where you're doing some roasting. Here's the one-liner round. Is there?
There's
maybe break it down.
like dirty jokes.
Yeah.
That's the suck it round. Mm-hmm. There's the
Everything's
low blow.
wrestling themed.
Yeah, the
you
low
come out
blows.
as a stable. You know, like you would come out as like a Degeneration X kind of a stable.
Yeah.
And there's heels and faces and belts, and the stage looks like a ring. You really did an awesome job. And I was super happy to be a part of that and just have those pictures that makes me look like I was at a wrestling show that happens
That's great.
to be a comedy show.
That's a great compliment. That's
Super
the
fun.
goal, is to be in an immersive wrestling world.
Yeah.
But still do comedy. So
Now, is that show still running at Angel City?
It's not. So we're currently looking for, hopefully by the time this airs, we'll have a new venue. But since I left there, I'm looking for a new venue because Three Weaver's a little bit smaller area for the public.
And you're looking for a pool, and I got one. And Trent, you can do the show in my backyard.
Yes. Have the ring floating in the pool.
That'd be great.
But no, man, I'm looking for a new venue. I actually have a couple people on the line for figuring out, because we need a big space, because the stage is essentially the wrestling
Was that
ring.
like, did you own that stage at Angel City? Are you building a new one, or how did that work?
Well, I own the wrestling rings and the ring
very
posts.
Very good. You're like a promoter. This is great.
I am. I hope it's one day you're not like a promoter. You are a promoter.
You are a promoter. I love it.
Low key, I would love to work in professional wrestling.
You're in the open mic world of promoting right now. You're an open micer as a promoter.
Yes, exactly.
You're just setting up your ring wherever you can, and then eventually
Just
you move up to
any
the
backyard,
club,
any flea
the
market.
club circuit.
Yeah.
You were, I want to last mention this, you were a character named the Brewer, which we talked about how you look like one.
Yeah.
Now, are you doing brewing at Three Weavers? Like
No, I'm not. See,
You're just events again.
I just look like a
You
brewer.
look like it.
I wear flannel. I have a
If you told
beard.
me something about hops, I would believe you.
Yeah, exactly.
You played a character named the Brewer for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Rock the Promo Challenge, which he did to kind of launch his YouTube channel, I believe.
It was
the first big thing.
So I'm such a huge fan. I'm like geeking out just talking about it. I'm such a huge fan of The Rock. I've been a fan since I was a kid. And actually, funny story. My buddy, who's a producer, had a colleague that works for his production company, $7 Productions, and apparently they had posted it and announced it, but I hadn't heard of it, which is crazy because I'm a huge fan of The Rock. Anytime he does anything, I know about it.
Of course.
So I didn't hear about it. And I don't check my emails like a normal adult should. So I found this email, and I had 2 days to put together a character. So what you had to do is come up with an original gimmick, a character, and then cut a promo. So in wrestling world, cutting a promo means essentially you're just you're talking shit on your opponent, why you're better than them, why you're going to win no matter what. And I used my last name. So the full title was Bruce the Brewer. And I just shot it in the back of my last job in Angel City. And I ended up making it into the contest.
Yeah.
I was a finalist. And then I ended up passing on to 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And made it to the Sweet 16.
Hell yeah, man.
Where the guy who won the whole thing is the guy that beat me.
Oh, really?
So
and what was his gimmick?
So, yeah, his real name's AJ Kirsch. AJ and I have actually become kind of buddies through the whole thing.
That's
and so we follow each other on social media. I met him one time at a wrestling event that he was hosting.
Yeah.
As his gimmick. His gimmick is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's Broseph Joe Brody.
Okay.
So AJ plays this gimmick, and he plays it so well. He's just like the ultimate bro, like all the way up to 11. Like,
and is he a wrestler?
So AJ has, he has a wrestling background. So he actually works with and runs a promotion out of Oakland. Yeah. Shout out to Hood Slam in Oakland.
Oh, yeah. I know a dude from Hood Slam named... he plays one of the refs. Do you know a lot of the guys up there?
I don't know a lot of the guys.
I sourced a clip from him for Ridiculousness.
Oh, cool.
And we became friends on Facebook. I cannot think of his name, but I've talked to him a million times. He, I think, is like the ref or something for Hood Slam.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's all character-based.
It's a really obscure,
I mean, it'll
like
be like
a really out there kind of
It'll be like
wrestling.
Link from Zelda versus...
like a giant baby or something.
Yeah, giant baby. And like crazy costumes and very underground kind of a feel.
Yeah.
But that's awesome.
Yeah, so him and I, it's great through this contest with The Rock. One of my goals was to work with him last year. I wrote that down. So in a way, I did work for him.
Man.
And so that was awesome.
You got to write it down. You handwrite everything as you do these questions. So
and all my death threats.
Sure. Yeah. Death threat. But write it down. We're putting out some lessons on this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Grow a beard. Write
that shit down and drink good beer.
Very good. We are in Culver City, not too far from where I worked on Tosh.0. Right over here in Culver City.
What studio?
I don't know. It's like it's the Tosh.0 and Tennis Channel building. That's all I remember.
Cool.
But
Random.
I spent a lot of time driving over here. So once I got to Venice, I knew like, oh, this is not very far at all.
I remember when you were on that.
We are about to dive into some WrestleMania trivia.
Sweet.
So we've been talking for 15 minutes. We know everything about you, and people definitely already know about me if they're listening to this show. And if they're not, you can go read my bio somewhere, which is on a website.
Just get on your phone and read it.
RyanBuds.com is not shut down, but I don't have I just have it redirecting to Trivia with Buds because everyone goes to check that for trivia stuff. And not that I don't need the RyanBuds.com, I still have the domain, but I got to figure out a better way to present the information. You know what I mean? Redesign.
There you go.
Redesign, reclaim, rebuild. Seth Rollins. Here we go. This is...
That was so seamless. That was great.
Yeah, here we go. So we're going to go back and forth. We'll do some WrestleMania trivia. And when you know the answer, let's buzz in with what's a fun, one-syllable wrestling word that we can buzz in. Well, actually, we don't need to buzz in. We're just going... Usually, I have a buzz-in word between two people. But since it's just me and you, we'll just go back and forth.
Oh, okay.
So we don't know. But what would be a buzz-in word if we had one? What would be a fun one?
Oh, man. By God.
By God.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. This man has a family is the whole buzzing word. This man has a family. All right, here we go. I'll kick it off, and then we'll go to you, and we'll go back and forth, and we'll kind of keep score. We'll see how this goes.
Oh, man. Okay.
So this is the Trivia Showdown.
Trivia Showdown.
Okay, so the theme is WrestleMania, and I'm going to kick it off with this WrestleMania question. Let's see if you know this one. Number one, what was the name of the move Brock Lesnar botched at WrestleMania 19, leaving him with a concussion?
Oh, shit.
What was the move he botched? He used to do it quite a bit.
No, I have it playing in my head right now. I can't think of the exact name. Oh, my God. Oh, Shooting Star Press.
Shooting Star Press is correct.
Yes.
Trent has 1 point. That's 1 point for Trent, and old Rye has nothing yet. We'll get to your question in just a second. You went to WrestleMania for the first time ever last year.
Yeah, man, it was pretty cool. So my mom surprised my dad and I with Christmas for WrestleMania tickets, which was nuts.
Very cool, Mom.
And yeah, so it was the last gift of the morning. So we still do Christmas is a big deal at our household. I fly back home to St. Louis for it.
Yeah,
and my mom had this giant tube. It looked like a old map was in it or something, like a poster.
And so everybody knows Mom Bruce collects old maps, and she was maybe giving you one of her favorites.
Maps on maps on maps. And so I pulled off the little thing and unrolled it, and it was a map, and I'm like, okay. But I saw that it had an arrow from LA to Dallas.
Yeah.
Arlington, and then St. Louis to Dallas, and it had the date above it, and I just started flipping out.
So that was a ticket for your dad to go from St. Louis?
Yeah. So
and then you to go from LA?
Yeah. It was a map, and it had the date with arrows pointing to Dallas. Yeah, it was a cool way to present it. And
that's pretty cool.
It was.
And you have a brother too, right?
No, I have. So it's technically my stepdad. I call him my dad.
Yeah.
Stepdad, my mom, and my younger sister, Mallory.
Did any of them go, or was it just you and stepdad?
No, just me and Al, man.
There you go.
Yeah. It was pretty awesome, man, because he's the guy that got me into it when I was a kid.
Sure.
So when my folks got remarried, I was probably like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
So it was right at the height of Steve Austin.
Oh, yeah.
The Rock, Triple H, like those guys.
Yeah. And he was like, little Trent, guess where we're going? Monday Night Raw and stuff, right? You went to a few Raws?
I went to a couple Raws in St. Louis, and then I went to don't count out the house shows. House shows are super fun.
You know, it's funny. I went to my very first house show at Staples Center over Christmas. On the 29th.
The holiday tour.
The holiday tour was great. We got $20 tickets at the box office, no tax, $20 straight, and it was like obstructed view, and we could see. It was the best. We were to the side of the entrance, but there's no screen, so you're not obstructed from anything because it's not being taped. You know what I mean? So it was great, super fun show.
Yeah, but as a kid, went to a house show, snuck down to second row, and that's when Batista was really big.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, he's really big.
Early 2000s, yeah.
And so I have this old photo. He fell onto the guardrail right in front of me. Oh, yeah. And I flashed a disposable camera to get the photo, like right in his face. And if you've ever been to a wrestling show, you know it's like pitch black in the arena except for the ring.
Yeah.
So I flashed, and he pointed at me, and he like rubbed his eyes like he couldn't see. And I got like so nervous, and then he went back in the ring.
Do you think he was selling it?
He was selling it,
just
man.
for you?
He was selling
that's
it.
pretty cool. If he was like, whoa, like that kid just distracted my match, and then you feel like you're part of it.
Yeah,
great.
I never thought of that level.
I would like to think
cool.
Batista really was protecting the business.
Dude, he's got a great career right now. Well, at least with this Galaxy Guardian.
That's all he needs.
Yeah, right.
I heard he broke down and cried when he got that part. He was so excited for the first one.
It was so fun.
And then he took all these classes so that he could be as good as he is. And the new trailer, man, for the second one looks so great.
Looks great.
Baby Groot. It's going to be awesome. We're going to move on to question number 1 from you. What do you got over there, Trent?
Oh, man. So I had to edit it. But so this might be, I don't know what the difficulty level is.
A little mix of everything, or did you go real hard?
Well, we'll see. Okay, we'll see. What 2 WrestleManias
Shooting Star Press
were hosted in Canada?
Oh, boy. 2, I don't even know one. I can't, there were 2.
See, I thought there was only one.
There's 2 WrestleManias in Canada?
Yes.
Oh, God. This had to be a long time ago because I don't remember any recent ones.
They were both in the same arena.
Okay. Are they back-to-back WrestleManias?
No.
Okay, I'm just going to guess 2 random numbers then. In Canada, WrestleMania 8? No. And WrestleMania 16.
Close.
Okay.
So I've got WrestleMania 6.
Okay. Ultimate
And
Battle.
then, see, I didn't know that one.
Sure.
And then WrestleMania 18. That's the big. Remember the cover was
Canada?
Steve Austin.
There's a lot of cool stuff. That was The Rock and Hogan.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, I know. Yeah, Steve Austin was 17. You're right.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. Yeah, Austin's last WrestleMania was 17. I think, right?
Yep.
Man, that's a good question. So it's 1. Trent's up by 1. He stumped me with a tough WrestleMania Canada question.
I don't know how hard to go, but
no, that's good. That was perfect. That's perfect. And I just wonder. I wonder if there's so many different questions. I wonder if we have any crossover. We'll find out.
We'll find.
I'll ask you another question in just a second. I was going to bring up the fact that you're also going to WrestleMania this year. You just told me.
I know.
Super excited?
It's crazy. I feel weird about it. Like this shouldn't happen. Like once in a life, you should just go like one time.
Yeah.
But after Al and I went, my stepdad and I, we went. I told my mom, I told him, I was like, that was literally the most fun I've ever had in my entire life.
Wow.
Because I've been to.
Does your dad still like wrestling?
Oh yeah,
he still watches.
Oh, that's like a big thing that we.
Oh, very good.
Like, that's
so
like
your
our
mom
thing.
knows that. And
it's like our thing. Yeah,
that's great.
So it's like our thing that we bond over, and we text each other about and call each other about. And
I have a brother. You got to find a wrestling buddy.
You do.
And I have a brother. We do the same thing. And my other brother's always like, "When are you two gonna grow up?" Like, He's like, "How do you?" He goes, "You guys don't still watch it, do you?" And I go, "Yeah, every week, bro."
Dude,
we share like
it's getting really
bro.
It's getting a lot of people shit. Like that's one thing I found out about wrestling fans. Wrestling fans love to shit on the product.
Oh yeah.
And mind you, like I do it too, but I think we're on an uphill.
Oh yeah, I do too. I have a hard time shitting on anything because like people will be like, "Oh, like Vince's booking decisions. He's such an old piece of shit. And I'm like, it's the same way people yell at George Lucas for Star Wars stuff. I'm like, he created all of it. Don't you understand? Like, you have to, you cannot like it.
That's a good way to
but you
look at
have
it.
to be like, you have to respect the guy that created the thing that you like first, and then disagree with what he's doing later. You can't just dismiss all of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when people are like, "Fucking Jar Jar Binks ruined the whole thing," it's like, no, he didn't. It was like, it's
a fun little
a lot of
gimmicky
people didn't like it, but like, think of all the shit you do like that he firsthand created. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me when people do that. But I talked to a guy the other day. What are your thoughts on this? And I'm sure you are a pretty democratic guy from, I think, what I know about you.
Yeah.
I was talking to a guy. I went to How Did This Get Made Live the other day. You ever listen to that podcast?
I have not.
Super fun.
That
if you like
sounds
bad
awesome.
movies, I highly recommend it. And I was sitting next to a friend of a friend, and he had just come back from Ring of Honor in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know a ton of indie stuff. I know, like, some names here and there, some events here and there, and I've been to a few, but I don't follow a lot of it. And he goes, yeah, it was great, blah, blah, blah. And I go, are you excited for Mania? And he goes, I don't watch WWE anymore at all because they gave $6 million to Trump. And I was like, oh. And I'm like, and I'm sure there's a good majority of wrestling fans who are like, I hated some of this stuff, and now this kind of put me over the edge. But what are your thoughts on that as a wrestling fan?
Yeah, man, that's a really hard thing. Real quick, shout out to some indie stuff. I'm going to my first PWG show on Saturday.
Receipt of California.
I've never been, but I'm so excited that's Saturday.
Yeah, get there early, and it takes a lot of your day, and it's like a lot. You will be like weak, like you went to it's a crazy event, but you will feel like you went to 2 concerts when you get home.
I'm excited.
And,
I'm thrilled.
And it's super hot, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
And you'll literally order a pitcher of beer and just drink out of the beer if you want beer. And it's like Miller Lite.
Cool.
But it's a super fun. I've only been once. It's super hard to get tickets now.
Yeah.
How'd you get tickets?
Friend was just like refreshing, like F5,
That's
F5,
great.
F5.
There you go. So back to
So yeah, that's a weird thing for me because like I now have gone to WrestleMania. It'll be 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money.
Sure.
My family has spent a lot of money attending these events.
Do you think you can remove yourself from the idea that you're supporting that? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, because I still watch it.
Sure.
So
I feel the exact same way. I mean, I'm not a super politically charged guy anyway, but I don't know. There's just some part of me that I can go, okay, I like this for this reason. The number one reason I watch wrestling is nostalgically.
Yeah.
I grew up watching it with like you said, you watched it with your dad. I watched it with my brother, and it reminds me of being a kid, and I love figuring out what's going to happen.
Love the
getting
storytelling,
surprised.
yeah.
It's just there's something about it, and it's such a unique thing. There's nothing else like it.
Exactly.
And I think they do it the best. So if I like that thing for those reasons, I can separate the fact that money that I'm spending on a ticket might be going towards that thing.
well, it's like separating, you'd say like the artist from, like Kanye. Like I
Sure.
think Kanye's going to make dope beats until the day he's
Sure.
dead, but he's a weird dude. And
Sure.
and
Or some people will be like, Mike Tyson, convicted rapist.
Yeah.
There's a cartoon called Mike Tyson Mysteries that I watched the pilot of, and I thought it was hilarious. But then I have another friend who's like, yeah, that's great. They're giving a convicted rapist a cartoon. And I'm like, I in some way, I mean, I never watched another episode, but not because of that. I just, it's weird. It's like, there's just a way that I can separate, like, okay, I'm not watching this with the intention of supporting that.
And my
It's
thing
two
is,
separate things.
and my
You know what I
thing
mean?
is like, this might be brushing it off too much, but like, I feel like there is someone in the higher ups of every big corporation that has some ties to something political that I don't agree with.
Oh yeah.
I'm making a broad statement to
Yeah.
just like make it okay for myself.
Yeah.
But for instance, like I remember hearing like Coachella, apparently one of the guys that owns or runs Coachella is like a Trump guy.
Yeah.
And it's like the demographic that goes to Coachella would not
but
be
they're still
that
gonna
all.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So it's like, I don't know, man. I get it.
A pick your battles kind of thing. It's like, is the money I spend on this worth? Like you just kind of go back and forth with the impact your enjoyment of that thing is having versus the thing that people are pissed about. You know what I mean? So it's interesting, but
It is interesting
to
with
think about.
the way the WWE product is going too, like with Stephanie and them all doing more women's focused programming,
Sure, anti-bullying and a lot of
and all that, like
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
the stuff that they're pushing, and then
Yeah.
giving money to someone like Trump. But anyway,
I guess we'll do another trivia question to get off the politics. Here's
Okay.
number 2. Who sent Mick Foley through a flaming table at WrestleMania 22? Who sent Mick Foley through a flaming table at WrestleMania 22? What do you think?
Gut instinct's going to go with Triple H.
It was Edge.
Oh,
the
wow.
famous spear off the apron through the flaming table.
Flaming table.
One of Mick's last huge matches, if I remember correctly. Maybe he had a couple more.
Shit.
But yeah, he got speared through the table that was on fire outside the ring. Lita lights it, and then Edge spears him through the apron. It was a really cool moment. Edge has had some really cool WrestleMania
I'm actually going to write that down to
Look
watch
that
it
up.
later.
Super fun moment. It's always on like the top 5 like WTF moments on the show and stuff.
Yes.
Or on wrestling history shows. Speaking of wrestling history, you are a huge Stone Cold fan.
Huge Stone Cold
And
fan.
you are not very far from the El Segundo Brewery, where they carry Stone Cold's Broken Skull IPA,
Yep.
which is probably one of your favorite beers, right? And
It's a good beer, yes.
and you got to go have a draft poured from Steve himself, right?
It was
Supposedly poured?
it
was?
it was insane, man. So I
You invited me, and I really wanted to go, and it was a Friday, like afternoon,
Yeah.
4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and I
it was a weird time.
Yeah.
But I honestly, dude, the way I found out about it and I got tickets so quickly,
Yeah.
I happened to be doing nothing at the time that they posted about it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And because I was just scrolling through my phone like a zombie, like waking up in the morning, and then they posted about the event. I went online, I texted everyone, got tickets, and it was probably, I mean, besides just going to WrestleMania, but it was probably, in terms of my wrestling fandom, was definitely the coolest thing. A lot of people would argue that Steve Austin is the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
I would argue that a little bit.
Sure.
I got to give props to Flair, but
There you go.
but Steve Austin definitely wrestling would not be what it is without him. And all these other people, they've kind of like Rock has his movie career, Hogan has done stuff.
Yeah.
Steve Austin has been only a wrestler. Like he's done some B action movies and that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But like his niche, like his focus was always just in the squared circle.
Yep.
Which I respect.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, huge fan of his. He's such a nice guy. Drank beers with us, did all his catchphrases.
awesome.
I got to ask him a question during the Q&A. He said, "Epic beard." And, yeah, I was like, oh my God, Stone Cold just said,
That's
"Epic
great.
beard."
That's amazing. And just having him hand me the beer, I would be like,
Yeah,
I'd freak out.
I got to shake his hand, get
You
a
got a
photo.
picture of it? You sent me the
Yeah.
picture of him. That was cool. He hangs out there all the time. So
Yeah.
I listen to his podcast, and he's always
Yeah.
like, down at the El Segundo Brewing Company, fucking tearing hell up. Or,
Yeah, you got a great one. Yeah,
I listen to his show quite a bit.
that's
And,
great. Did you listen to Kevin Owens one recently?
No, I need to. I hear it's great.
Oh my
I hear
God,
it's really good.
it's really awesome.
So yeah, Stone Cold, one of the best, and I want to just go hang out there and hope that he comes in one day on like a weekday to pick up a couple growlers or something.
He hangs out there a lot.
I sent him an Instagram message to do this show.
Oh shit!
But he has not. It doesn't tell you when they've
Come
seen
on,
it or
Steve.
not. Come on, Austin. Let's get on this thing. Here's your next question, number 2 for me.
Okay, man, my questions might be kind of out there, but
All right.
So you said you were talking with Cousins about Limp Bizkit.
That's right.
Blah, blah,
Adam
blah.
Cousins, Limp Bizkit. Couple.
How
weeks
many?
ago.
How many manias did Limp Bizkit do the theme for?
You like the WrestleMania theme song, or the like a performance for the Undertaker song?
So I'll clarify. Limp Bizkit did the theme song that would be like in the video package and promoting Mania
Okay.
multiple times.
They used multiple Limp Bizkit songs.
Yes.
Okay, so I definitely know "My Way," which
Yep.
was amazing for The Rock, Austin for their last big battle, which was that package you could like cry watching
Yep.
that now. So that's great. "My Way." I want to say they did something for an Undertaker package at some point. I mean, the Undertaker used to come out to Rollin', but that's not what you're talking about, right?
Correct. That's not what I'm talking
Okay,
about.
so just like a video package. So I'm going to say that one, and then I'm going to say they did. Maybe break stuff was used for some kind of package. I can't think of anything
Well,
else.
I was just asking. So you don't have to pick the actual songs.
Oh, okay. How many
Just
times?
How many
I'll
times?
say 3 times.
Oh man. Okay, twice.
Twice? Damn.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
kind of a hard one. That's kind of a hard one.
All right.
But I'll give you. Can I give you like a half point because you did get that one?
Let's do a half. I
Yeah.
need you on the board.
So I didn't realize this. I knew My Way, but they
Okay.
also did WrestleMania 17, and they did WrestleMania 19. That was My Way, and then 19 they did a song that was called Crack Addict.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and then obviously they did a couple different Taker themes,
live performances.
and then they did Survivor Series theme song.
Wow,
too.
they were really involved. Yeah, I heard that
Way too involved.
he is pissed at them from whenever the last time he worked because he flicked off the camera, and they were PG at the time or something.
Oh.
So they were like, they censored it or they yelled at him or something, and he was like, "Well, fuck you, I'm never doing anything with you again." So he's nuts. But
Yeah, that was your only paycheck at the time,
there
Fred.
you go, Freddie Durst. Here's number 3 from
Okay.
my WrestleMania trivia questions for Trent Bruce. Number 3, there was a brother versus brother match at WrestleMania 10. Who were the brothers and which one won the match? WrestleMania 10, the X WrestleMania.
Holy shit.
Brother versus brother, and who won the match?
Oh, it was Owen and Brett.
That's right. First half's right. And who won it? Brett or Owen? It was early on in the pay-per-view. I think it was like the first or second match. Any guesses? Brett or Owen?
I'm going to say Owen.
100% correct.
Yes.
Owen won the match. It's 2 to a half point from me. What's your next one all about there? Number 3.
Okay, number 3. Who has the most Mania losses?
Most WrestleMania losses. Do they still wrestle today?
They are not currently on the active roster.
I'm going to say the most WrestleMania losses belongs to Kane. Is that true?
No,
Damn.
but I'll give you a hint. Mr. WrestleMania himself.
Shawn Michaels?
Isn't
He's
that-
lost the most?
Yeah,
Wow. Oh, so he's been in the main event and things and like had the biggest
11
matches,
out
but
of
he lost.
17 times.
Well, he lost twice to the Undertaker in both those
Yeah.
amazing matches. So that's a good question.
Isn't that wild?
That is really good. I should have known better. I feel like Kane was a guy they would just have lose a lot, but still be in big matches.
Yeah.
All right. Here's number 4. This is number 4 for WrestleMania Trivia Challenge. Which commentator has worked the most WrestleManias as a commentator? Which
We're
commentator?
talking ringside or anything?
Ringside commentating. Who has done the most?
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
The King, Jerry the King Lawler.
Jerry the King Lawler is very close,
Michael Cole.
but it was Michael Cole.
Damn, Michael Cole.
And if you go by years, he has just a few more than Jim Ross. So I think it goes. You'd think
Cole?
the King. You'd think the King would be there for all the time when like it was either Cole or Lawler,
Yeah.
or Ross. But from what Wikipedia told me, it looked like Michael Cole had the longevity there. So
Wow.
listeners, maybe double check that one for me. But
Yeah,
I think I'm
right.
pretty sure it was Michael Cole. What do you got? Number 4.
Number 4. What wrestler has beaten all 4 members of the faction Evolution at Mania?
What wrestler's beaten all 4 members of Evolution at Mania?
So obviously it's 4 separate times.
Sure. Evolution, we got Triple H, we got Ric Flair, we got Batista, and we got Randy Orton.
Correct.
Somebody that's beaten all of them at WrestleMania. Who has beaten like Batista at WrestleMania? That's a tough question.
Don't think too hard.
Don't think too hard. The Rock.
No, you got a second one?
No. What do you got?
Taker.
Undertaker.
Taker.
Oh, I'm real dumb. Yep. Good job. These are great questions.
Are they? I don't know if they're too
No,
hard.
those
or
are those are perfect.
Cool.
You have 2 points. I have a half point from your kindness. Here's number 5. This is about The Rock, your boy. The Rock's last match before a 7-year break at WrestleMania 20 was in a 2-on-3 handicap match featuring him and Mick Foley as the Rock and Sock Connection taking on what trio?
Holy shit. WrestleMania 20? Mm-hmm. I need to go back and watch that one. That was at Madison Square Garden. Mm-hmm. Okay. What trio? Rock and Sock.
Now, I will tell you this. It wasn't always... the group was not just a trio, but they only faced 3 of the group.
Interesting.
That might help you.
Was it DX?
It was not DX. It was Evolution. So Triple H was in the main event against Benoit, I believe, and Benoit won. And the other 3 were against, it was Rick, Randy, and Batista versus
Weird.
Rock and Mick, and that was the last match for The Rock at WrestleMania before he came back and fought Cena.
Weird.
Or before he came back and had the tag team match with Cena against Miz and R-Truth, which was so weird.
Yeah.
That was crazy. All right, that was number 5.
Wow. Okay.
Number 5 for you.
Number 5 for me.
Yeah.
What was the only WrestleMania to be held in multiple cities at the same time?
Oh, man. What WrestleMania was that? It's one of the very early ones. It's definitely first 5. It's either 2 or 3 because I watched 4 religiously, and I don't think it was 1 because they didn't want to try it yet. So it's definitely 2 or 3. I want to say it was WrestleMania 2.
Ding, 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 ding,
Yes,
ding.
I finally got it because 3 was the big Hulk Hogan Andre match, and I feel like they wouldn't have risked that for that or something. So very good. That's 1.5 to 2, so we're getting closer. Here's number 6 for you. The ECW Championship was only defended at one WrestleMania, WrestleMania 24. Who came out of that match with the ECW title?
Oh, don't say anything, buds.
Okay. All right.
Because I want to. Don't say anything.
Okay.
I'm just saying this out loud. My gut immediately went for Rob Van Dam, but then I know at some point Maven held the title.
Okay.
I'm going to go with RVD.
Okay. You ever watch that show, That's So Maven?
Yeah.
It did not last long. It was on the Disney Channel. It came on right after That's So Raven. It starred the wrestler Maven. Did not work out. Both of those are wrong. It was Kane.
Kane. Oh,
Yeah.
The ECW championship. Oh, right.
That's what it told me on the old internet.
Oh, yeah.
Number 6 on your side. Let's dig
Number
dig
6.
in. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this might be a little toss up for you.
Okay.
Who was the boxer that refereed HBK and Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14?
Mike Tyson.
Ding, ding, ding.
Boom. Now it's I'm winning by a half point.
There you go.
A bit of a lead here.
There you
2.5 to 2 points. Low scoring game, but these are great questions. A lot of good conversation here. Here's number 7 for you. What reality star competed in a mixed tag team match with John Morrison at WrestleMania 27? John Morrison.
Can you say that one more time?
What reality star competed in a mixed tag team match? Their partner was John Morrison, WrestleMania 27.
That's a hard one.
I believe they faced Dolph Ziggler and maybe Vicky Guerrero or maybe not. I'm not sure who they faced.
Oh, thank you. Snooki.
It was Snooki. Well done. Your 3rd point. Trent Bruce. Question
Cool.
number 7 on your side.
What was the largest attended to date WrestleMania? What was the biggest one?
It's the one. Oh, wait. No, I think for a long time it was the Hogan Andre one, right? The Superdome or whatever. That was it for a long time.
For a long time.
And then Hogan screwed it up at the WrestleMania 30 and said, "Great to be back here in the," what did he say, Alamo Dome or something? Whatever.
He fucked it up. He said the wrong dome.
Yeah, and then he just shook his head and everyone booed and he just, oh man, I have that image of him just kind of like realizing, and they go, I mean the, whoa, and it was so bad.
Yeah, I was an idiot.
Then they all came out and made fun of him. That's great. That made for a good moment, even with that mess up.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it was, I want to say it was WrestleMania. We're coming up on 33.
Yeah.
I'm going to say WrestleMania 32 set the attendance record.
Last year.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yes. And that was that where was that at?
It was in Dallas at the Cowboy Stadium, Arlington.
That's right. Yes. And that's the biggest state, isn't that?
It was huge. I went to it. It was huge.
Oh, yeah,
101,000 people.
Yeah, that's right.
Insane.
Amazing. All right, I got a point there. Very good. 3.5 to 3.
Okay.
Here's number 8 for you. Who won the first ever Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 30?
Big Show.
Cesaro.
Wait, what?
Cesaro.
Wait, say that again?
Wait, was it? Am I thinking of the second one?
The guy that won the first ever Andre the...
Yeah, now I got to look it up. I'm almost positive it was Cesaro. He body slams the Big Show out of the ring to mimic Andre getting body slammed. Let me see.
What?
Andre.
Maybe it was the first one that I watched was Big Show.
Yeah, it might have been the second one. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Big Show, I just reading as articles as Big Show announced for this year's. Oh, no. No. Yeah, the WrestleMania 31, Big Show won. The history.
Wasn't that the first one ever? Or no?
No, WrestleMania 31. Oh, no, this is it. Okay, WrestleMania 30, Hulk Hogan announced he was establishing the thing. Cesaro would win the match after eliminating Big Show using a body slam similar to the body slam Hogan did.
Holy shit.
WrestleMania 31, Big Show won. WrestleMania 32, Baron Corbin won. So So those are the 3 winners. Yeah.
Damn.
So you were close, but no cigar. Here's your number 8 for me. What do you got over there? Number 8.
That is wild.
That is a wild piece of trivia.
I would not know that. Okay, number 8.
Yes.
How many Manias has Vince McMahon fought in?
How many Manias? He fought Bret Hart in a no-holds-barred match a couple years back. He fought CM Punk, but I don't think that was at a Mania.
Oh, man. I might be way wrong.
I'm gonna say he's fought in 3 WrestleManias. Is it 3?
That's what I had down.
Okay.
But I had left out the
CM Punk one might have been on.
Well, I had left out the Bret Hart.
Yeah, they had a match that was like when Bret came back to WWE.
I know.
Maybe WrestleMania 26.
So with
maybe?
that included, I had 3 down. I had HBK,
yeah,
Hogan, and
Austin.
Shane.
Oh, and Shane. That's a tough question.
Toss that up. I need to look that up. My bad.
I don't think I got it right. I really don't. So it's right now. It's still it's 3.5 to 3 points. And here is number 9 for you. What random wrestler beat Chris Jericho notoriously at WrestleMania 29? It's kind of
what random wrestler?
Kind of a random this person's never really gotten a huge push and still around doing a terrible gimmick if you ask me right now. And but they tried to give him this push and it didn't lead to anything. So it was very strange. What random wrestler beat Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 29 about 4 years back? It's one word. One word, this wrestler, like Kane, but not Kane.
He's still around?
Still around.
In WWE? Mm-hmm. Because I was going to go say someone from New Day, but...
Not a bad guess.
One name. Shit.
Any guesses? We got 2 questions left from you, 1 left for me after this, and then we have one more quick thing to do.
Okay. Damn.
Nothing?
Let me Chris Jericho, one name.
Maven. No. It was Fandango.
Fandango. Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. Fandango beat old Jericho. Number 9 for you.
Who has the most world title wins at Mania?
World title. Do you mean like what they would call the Universal Championship now, or do you mean the SmackDown Championship?
Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah,
World Heavyweight. It just said World Heavyweight.
Oh, okay. I got you. The most wins at Mania?
Yeah.
Like
who? Yeah.
I'm going to say Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I got John Cena.
Oh, yeah, that makes more sense.
4 with Cena.
4. Yeah, very good.
Winning the title. Sorry, winning the title.
Sure. Number 10 for you. Last question I got for you. What kind of match did Triple H and Undertaker have for their last battle at WrestleMania 28?
Oh, my God.
What kind of match was it? What match type?
Hell in a Cell.
It was Hell in a Cell. Boom, your 4th point. And it's 4 to 3.5. Let's see if I can get another 1 point or a half here. What do you got?
Oh, this is a hard one.
Okay.
How many times has Stone Cold Steve Austin guest refereed after retiring at Mania?
Okay, he did Brock and Goldberg, round 1. He did, let's see, guest refed as Austin. I'm going to say 3 times.
Ding, ding, ding.
Boom. I don't know the other 2.
Buds takes it. Brock and Goldberg. I forget the other one right now. But wasn't he the guest ref for the Shave Your Head match?
He was.
Yeah.
I believe you're right. It's 4.5 to 4. So I'm winning by a point because you give me a half point. So I'm really not winning, but it's basically tied right now. This is the last thing we're going to do. This is round 1 is over. We're going to do a thing called categories with buds.
Categories with buds.
So for categories with buds, I pick a topic and we go back and forth naming stuff from it until one of us can't think of another one. Okay. And if you get this, you get 3 points. So whoever gets this will win the podcast.
Okay.
And it's going to be Intercontinental Champions.
Oh, my God.
Okay. So I'll kick it off, and I'll say Bret the Hitman Hart.
I'll say Shawn Michaels.
The Miz.
I'll say Razor Ramon.
Dolph Ziggler.
I'll say Dean Ambrose.
Ryback.
I'll say Triple H.
Oh, boy. The British Bulldog.
I'll say The Rock.
Mr. Perfect.
I'll say Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I will say, oh man, it's weird. It's kind of tough. Shit. John Morrison, but I don't know if that's true.
I think he was IC champ.
Okay,
Let's take it. Kane?
Kane, I'm sure was. Big Show, because he's held all the belts. I know that.
Oh, shit. Okay. Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder, he won it last year.
Yeah.
Very short-lived.
Per day.
Chris Jericho.
Nice.
I'm trying to think of those classic guys.
Taker's had to have, right?
I don't know. Maybe. We'll say he is. I don't know.
Fuck, this one's a hard one.
How about Macho Man? Macho Man was the
Oh, yeah.
champ, right? That was a big
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
Because that was Macho for you. Oh, man. Shit.
I got one more big one, and then I think I'm out of the tank.
Uh,
Anything? 3 seconds?
Shit.
All right. I'm going to say my last one, Ultimate Warrior, because he won both belts at WrestleMania 6, I think it was.
6?
In Canada, I just learned.
Oh, shit.
So I got 3 there. 7.
Buds wins.
7. I somehow pulled out. I really thought I was not going to win because you had some really good questions. But those were great. I know you got to get out of here. So what is some stuff that you would like to plug before you go to work?
Oh, man. Definitely come check out Three Weavers Brewing Company in Inglewood. We're 5 minutes away from LAX, so anytime you're picking up someone or you're leaving or you're coming back, grab a nice pint. We're closed on Mondays, but every other day come through.
Very cool.
Check out my Twitter and Instagram handles just at Trent Bruce. Also for the wrestling shows at Off the Ropes Comedy.
Oh, and check those out. If you love this episode, you would love the live show. Super fun to watch and be a part of. And you really feel like you're at a wrestling show. So that's really cool. And we can announce you'll be doing some trivia nights at Three Weavers.
Yes.
And you'll be using the Trivia with Buds brand.
Yes.
Using some branding there. So all the questions will be from my repertoire. And we'll have the Trivia with Buds stuff on them. So if you like playing trivia and you live near Inglewood, California, go check out Trent Bruce hosting questions that I whipped up over at Three Weavers, and the first one is on March 22nd, which I think already.
That's next.
I think that will have already happened by the time this comes out. But let me check the calendar real quick here and let everybody know the 22nd.
It'll be a reoccurring event. So
yes,
definitely.
this will be out on the 28th. So this happened last week, the first one, but it'll be monthly. So
Cool.
Trent will be hosting some questions from my bag of tricks. So thanks so much, Trent, for being on the show. Have me in your house, and have a good rest of your day, man.
Sweet, thanks.
Bye. Boy, I will tell you, that was like the hell in the cell of podcasts, right? We were going head to head. It was a close game, but you heard what happened. That was Mr. Trent Bruce. Trent Bruce. Follow him wherever you can follow Trent Bruce. He's a very funny dude. He loves wrestling, and I love him for being a guest on that very special Buds Battle of the episode. Thanks for checking it out. And now comes the time in the week where we do a little something called the Listener Quiz. I have 3 questions for you, and I ask these questions every week. They're totally random, and if you answer them in a tweet to me, an email, or a message of any kind, and if you send that to me, I will enter you in a raffle. And the raffle this week will get your very own Ryan Buds 2010 headshot. I found a box of old headshots in my garage. I think this was the prize last week, too. And I thought they are going to be kind of funny to give away. So check out my very fashionable TJ Maxx attire in this headshot and enjoy if you win this listener quiz. Here are the 3 questions. Just answer these questions. Number 1, what is the name of the skunk in Disney's Bambi? What is the name of the skunk you would find in Bambi? Question number 2, what stain contains most of Yellowstone National Park? Yellowstone National Park is in mostly what state? And question number 3, how many NBA championships have the Chicago Bulls won? How many NBA championships have the Chicago Bulls won? Thanks for listening to this Buds Battle WrestleMania edition of the Trivia with Buds podcast. If you are looking to watch WrestleMania in LA, hit me up. I may have something fun for you to come do. And I hope you have a great time watching the event this weekend. And if you don't like wrestling at all, and somehow you listen to this whole episode, I urge you to give it a try. If you liked anything you heard here today, go check out some wrestling. Go check out some local wrestling, some independent wrestling. They call it the Indies. And you can see something great. PWG is a really hard one to get tickets for in Reseda, California, but it is amazing, and you would have a great time. And if you know anybody that has a WWE Network subscription, just ask them for the password. Try it out. Give it a little sample like you would with a Netflix password. Or I think they do free trials all the time for the for the network, and I think it's only $9.95. So that is it for this week. enjoy WrestleMania if that's your thing. And if it's not, try it out. And you guys can buy tickets to see me in Chicago. I'm headlining the Chicago Improv for the first time ever. Click on the Chicago tab at improv.com or go to chicago.improv.com or improv.chicago.com. I forget what it is. And April 20th through the 23rd, I will be there featuring for the very funny Rodman. And I will be headlining that Sunday night show on April 23rd. Just booked my flight. Boom! Hope to see you. And I'll have some brand new Ryan Buds t-shirts if you want a very funny shirt that has a joke that lets you flip up the bottom of the shirt and flash a joke to someone. You will enjoy it. They are blue and white. They are royal blue shirts, and I think they're really cool looking. And they're made by my good friend Stephen Long in Schaumburg, Illinois. So shout out to Stephen Long. If you're looking for shirts out that way, hit him up. That's it for me. I've been rambling. Thanks for listening to the podcast. And check out triviawithbuds.com. It's brand new, and it looks awesome. And you can find all information on live events on triviawithbuds.com. See you next time. Bye-bye.